Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's third call. As always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Right at the to the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive. We welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the this team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Moore on 1st and 10. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he is going to lose yardage here. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go now.
To throw on 3rd down. Moore. And a dump off to White. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
They go play action here on 1st down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here we go now.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. That is incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
The give is to Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. So the Patriots coming out now.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
That one goes for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
This is White on the screen. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there.
Here we go.
Keeps the sticks moving.
319.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Takes this one down all the way near the 30. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. 0-0 our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Rudolph. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Hurry up, here we go. Line it.
Off play action. Moore. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Moore now. Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back to throw. Moore. Gronkowski, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run for it. This is White. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run. This is White. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Moore. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
From the 50, it's Rudolph. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Play action. It's Rudolph. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
We got 3.
Now it's Rudolph off the bootleg. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. And Boswell's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll square off with the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Lots to look forward to in the late games as well. One of the best being up in Seattle, where we find the Seahawks taking on the New York Giants. And finally, Sunday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In the game you're watching, it was Mason Rudolph with a strong first half throwing the football. His guys have the lead as we get you back up to Heinz Field and say hello once again to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now let's go.
On second down, it's Bell. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
And the Steelers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Rudolph. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They stay on the ground with White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. New England on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Moore. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call? I
do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Set! Blue landing!
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Down to the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Set! 319!
On the counter, here's Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hurry up, here we go! Green!
And the blitz does come. And he finds McDonald. And down inside the 15 he goes. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
A give to Bell. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Rudolph. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now it's Rudolph, and it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended receiver.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
This is Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Dante Hightower on the stop. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 20 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs.
Here we go.
Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try to loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now, he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Set. Green.
Again, it's Bell. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now stands at 13. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors. You can still play perfect football.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Back to throw. Moore. Right side. That's complete to Gronkowski. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To throw is Moore. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go. Blue line it.
Moore now. Throwing on 3rd and long. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Moore on first down. To Michelle on the dump-off. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Moore, operating from the gun. His throw incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Moore from the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Whether slinging it And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Looking to throw. Moore. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Bud Dupree in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
Off the play fake. Moore. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll go again with Bell. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
No, check. Patriots.
Now Bell, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Pittsburgh, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New England, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.